If you did wander here by mistake, please check out these videos first, and I hope you find them informative and enjoyable enough that I'll see you back here when you finish. Anyway, on to the television. In an overall sense, the first story arc of Dragon Ball was adapted very well. It really doesn't have any of the pacing problems that the Z era will, and I find its original content to be humorous and very well integrated. Part of this, though, is because Toei really didn't seem to be worrying at this point about catching up to the manga. The core storyline is adapted with a refreshing briskness, which, and I can't believe I'm saying this, almost seems reckless in retrospect. There isn't even an episode recap at all until episode 11, and even then they continue to be sporadic for a while. But you can't really blame them. They had no idea how long this series was going to last, and every comment on the subject Toriyama was making at the time seemed to imply it wouldn't be very long. And with the manga having over a year's head start on the anime, the TV series began right after Goku beat Murasaki, what reason did they have to think they'd ever catch up? So on one hand, I want to praise it for being a solid adaptation, but looking at the bigger picture, part of me wonders if maybe they'd slowed it down just a little bit more, things wouldn't have gotten so abysmal later on. Now, while I've chosen to call the first story arc The Hunt for the Dragon Balls arc, it's fairly common to see this section of the story referred to by fans as the Pilaf Saga or something along those lines. Now, if you go by the manga, it's a fairly puzzling designation. Sure, Pilaf serves as the final boss and the biggest challenge our heroes face, but he only shows up at the end and has absolutely nothing to do with the rest of the hunt. However, when I was a kid and had only seen the TV version of this, the Pilaf Saga seemed like a perfectly logical choice. It's funny, you remember how I once said that on Epic Quest you can introduce villains in two ways? That one was having a series of disconnected threats germane to the specific locations, like this arc, and the other was having a central villain or villainous organization, like with the Red Ribbon Army arc. Well, the TV series actually did something of an about-face when it came to this idea. Apparently they wanted an overall villain because Pilaf and crew show up in nearly every episode of this arc. And as I mentioned